In this video, I'll be giving an introduction to Rhino and Grasshopper. So I hope you have installed Rhino and Grasshopper by this point, and if you open up Rhino, this is how it will look like. And I'm currently using the version 6 of Rhino. And don't bother about the number of days remaining, because even though they give just 90 days, but you can switch your email IDs and register again to keep using for more than 90 days. And now let's move on by opening Grasshopper by launching the icon here. Once Grasshopper opens, this is how it will look like, and you can double click to use one viewport. So this is how the environment will look like, and Rhino is like any other 3D CAD software that you would have used. You can build any kind of 3D models in this, and Grasshopper is a 3D visual programming environment that is interfaced with this Rhino. So let's start by something very simple. So here you can see a point component. So components are basic building blocks in Grasshopper, and we can interface this point component with the Rhino by initializing it with some point. Let's say we'll initialize it with 0, 0, 0. You can see I'm typing the coordinates here, and by pressing enter, so now this component corresponds to this. Now you can move this point anywhere, and that will get stored in this component. So this is one of the applications of interfacing Rhino with Grasshopper. You can even set multiple points with this by using this option here. Let me use 0, Now I'm initializing 3 points for this point component. As you can see, there are 3 points here. Now if we have some points already existing in the Rhino and we need to assign it to this point component, that is also possible. Let us create some points in the Rhino environment like this, and by setting multiple points and pressing enter, you will have these 3 points assigned to the point component. Now similarly, we can repeat the same thing for lines, vectors, circles, and many other basic components. So let's move on to the numbers, and these are some important things when we are interacting with the real-time simulation. So let me initialize a number here. Now to visualize things in components, you can either keep your mouse icon over the top of it, or you can connect to a panel, which can be really useful for visualizing multiple numbers. Now for varying certain parameters in real time, we can't be changing numbers like this by setting every time. So there is something called as a slider. So this will be really useful to interact with the real simulation. So as you can see, it's very simple, and the output of that will be whatever value that we assign here. And you can edit this by using whatever type of numbers you want, the range of the numbers, etc. So let's see about some basic mathematical operations. For example, addition. Let me use another slider for this. Now you can see you can vary the sliders here, and this component performs the addition operation. So these are very trivial things that can be done with Grasshopper, but sometimes can be really useful. And this addition doesn't work only for numbers. You can even add vectors using the same components. So in that case, it proves really helpful. But if there are some complex expressions like x plus y the whole square into something like that, it's really difficult to use multiple components like that, and the Python script becomes very helpful in that case. So this is very similar to the normal Python that we use. For example, let us use a equal to x plus y the whole square. So just like that, it's possible to give any kind of expression, and just by varying this, you can get the output here. If you are trying to build the same thing with components, it will take a certain number of components, and it will get really complicated very quickly for complex expressions. So this is one of the advantages of having this, but apart from this you can also do your regular Python operations here, and if you are comfortable with C#, you can use that as well, or Visual Basic Script. There are other useful mathematical operations like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, square, square root, etc. Now let's go to something that we can visualize. This is the mesh tab, and you can see there are many components related to meshes here. So let's start with something basic. This is a mesh sphere, and if you right click this, you can view certain options. And preview, if you enable or disable preview, you'll be able to see the component and disable the viewing of the component. But even though you switch off the preview, you'll still have the mesh outputted from this output. But if you switch off the enable, that will not be there. So these are certain things that you have to keep in mind. And let us see the application of sliders now. So if you need to have a live simulation where you can change certain parameters, it's difficult to construct spheres of different radius again and again. But in these cases, using a slider bar like this can be really helpful. You can visualize it in real time. So these are certain basic things for this video. Some things which are not very important are changing colors if you need, and this corresponds to the color for the preview, and this corresponds to when you click the object. For example, if I click this, it will go to this color, and this is the normal color, previewing color. And I guess these are the basics. You can actually view each and every component by just clicking on it and keeping your icon above it. The explanations are pretty clear actually. So that's it for this video.